Man, this is pretty cool. This whole thing has been beyond cool. I've heard from so many people that I have played with, you know? Like when the press release went out, also I got all these emails, you know? Phone calls and stuff on Instagram, and former elementary school teachers sent me a project from grade 5. I was gonna be a stewardess. I wasn't. Anyway, I've flown a lot, but anyway. Coaches, of course, from every level. It's crazy. People have told me things they never did before. I was in BC as an assistant coach with U of M boys and women's volleyball team a couple of weekends ago, and was introduced. We were practicing, and someone, I guess from Ottawa, who apparently played back when I did, and she came up to me and she goes, "Hi, you don't know me, but I played when you played, and I played against you, and then when we weren't playing, so many of us came to the gym, and we just told everyone, you gotta watch her play." And I was like, really? I never knew I was even really that good. In fact, I clearly remember wondering how people thought that I was good in university, when I could still tell you all the things I was bad at. I'm not sure, I don't know, did I ever set you a good 31, Lisa? I'm not sure. But I guess that's where the constant push to train more than I often wanted to came from. Always knowing that there's someone better than you, and never wanting to give them a chance to be in the gym more than you. To my fellow inductees, I'm beyond honored to be in your company. Rick Brownlee and the whole Hall of Fame crew, we've worked together a lot, but you are all incredible for knowing how special keeping our sport heritage alive is for those who follow in our footsteps, and just for giving some old former athletes one more moment in time to remember how cool what we got to do really was. I have thought for a long time, ever since Rick said, I'm emailing you not to MC, but to be inducted, what I would say in my 3 to 5 minutes. Well, forget that, that's 5 minutes for sure. And maybe I'll start with how humbling this is. You know the people who are already in the hall, right? You should look at the list. I'm not sure I belong. But thanks for thinking that I do. Second, I will never ever think that an honor like this is just about me. If I hadn't played with so many of the very best athletes in Canada, I would never have been able to do anything. But maybe that's the best part of this. You can't do it alone. No one I've ever heard up here, and I've heard a lot of these speeches, no one ever thinks that they've done this alone. That's why we get to say words, to thank those who did all of whatever we did with us. When I watch the Olympics now, it's totally surreal that I was there. I remember when my boys were little. You probably don't remember this. They said, well, if my mom can go to the Olympics, certainly I can. I think they know now maybe how hard it was. I don't know. When I think of our final win there over Peru, historic really, totally surreal, the ball was in my hands for a lot of it. I do know that I was part of something really special, and I will forever be grateful. So how do I do justice to how thankful I feel and how much I owe to those along the way? To my friends who are here, and those who are truly happy for me, thank you. You are a rare few. The pursuit of excellence, no matter in what capacity, and then in giving back with so much of your own time, it can be a lonely place sometimes. I'm just grateful that you are here. To some of my very best fellow coaching friends now, who already taught me so much and never seem to tire of talking about the game, you truly get it, and thus you get me. To Shannon, my nominator and my high school coach, I'm not looking at you. Thank you so much for taking that job in little old Steinbeck. And thank you for seeing me, seeing more than just the volleyball. But you understood me from the inside out, and that made all the difference. Thank you for being the one volleyball coach at the time who believed that I could do it, and then getting me to the big city just so I have a chance. I want to say thank you to the coaches who cut me from that darn provincial team. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Probably because I stopped growing in grade 8. After that, I never questioned where I was coming from. I knew I would have to earn whatever I got, and that it would never be easy. Speaking of not easy, to Steve, Densmore, Vic, John, thanks for coming, Ken, who's in BC, I'll be joining them tomorrow, and Mike Burchak, my head coaches along the way. There were days the last thing I wanted to say to you was thank you. Man, you guys were tough. But once I figured out how to hear you, and sometimes not hear you, and how to take all you gave me that would help me achieve my dreams, once I decided to step into their intensity and not away from it, and when I realized that your passion is what I needed to make my own, all of it just kept coming together and we kept winning. A toughness I probably never knew I had came through. Never mind the insane amount of hours that you tossed the ball to me and watched video with me. Man, Nicolay, that was a lot of video. On VHS tapes, no less. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. To my family, I'm gonna do this. My sister timed her visit from BC to be here. She's why I play volleyball, you know. I thought she was the most awesome thing ever. She still is. I never ever felt anything but support from you guys. I've never told you this, maybe I have, but I don't think so. But when we qualified, CBC was filming it. The TV camera panned the audience and caught you all in your 1996 fashions. Dad, you shouldn't wear those suspenders ever again. And you were all hugging and high-fiving, you know, and you like looked so proud, like you had just won. When some people just thought I was one of the lucky ones, you guys understood how much I sacrificed and missed to do just that. I love watching that part of the video. I've watched it over and over and over again. Thank you for all coming to the Olympics. I think my parents took out a loan. Thanks for loving me and thanks for being here right now. Coop, my husband, 25 years. Woo! But thanks for loving me back then and then again, and now, you know what I mean. Thanks for keeping me humble in the best way, even though I don't always like it. I know it's not always easy, but you have supported all that has come with this whole thing. My busyness, my craziness, my cup half fullness, my endless yeses to whoever asks for anything. You are a special man, and knowing that you're proud of me means everything. And Mom and Dad Coop, thank you for giving that guy all of your own very best qualities. To my boys, well, thanks for being here. We all fly out together, actually, tomorrow to our respective volleyball matches. I'm not looking at you either, because I'm making it. Thanks for being proud of me, your old mom, for how I could set the ball, even though you never saw it. I'm pretty sure it's better in your imagination than it actually was. But you know what I've learned from the overwhelming response I've received since this was announced? That what's even better and way more important than all of the volleyball and the winning and the awards is that you come out of whatever you're doing in this life, and people tell you they felt and feel loved by you. I have learned, especially from being on so many teams, that people really just want to be seen, appreciated, and loved by someone. Doesn't matter what stage you do that from, sports or not. I already see that in both of you in spades, how you treat others. It has never mattered to me what sport or at what level you ever play, or how much you win or not. That will never define you to me, and it shouldn't to anyone. It's the human that you are that matters in any walk of life. And I am the most proud that you are Hall of Fame humans. You are good people. To my mom and dad, you thought I'd cry already. Now I know you're going to live forever, but just in case you don't, I'm sure glad we got to do this now. Because really all of this is you. You made all of this possible. And not just driving to Verdun, twice a week in grade 11. Man, Verdun is still far from Steinbeck. The incredible inner strength from that wee little mom of mine. I don't know, are you even 5 feet still, Mom? The never-ending positivity from my dad, what a combination. You helped nothing in the height department, you guys, but that turned out to be okay too, I guess. Mom, that first week of club in Winnipeg, I came home crying. I think in 3 hours I hadn't set one ball that was good enough for the coach of mine. You told me that I could quit and you would love me just the same, with or without volleyball, but if I thought this coach would make me the best I could be, and if I chose to play, it was my choice. So no more excuses or tears when I got home. And I never forgot that. Thank you for that. And my dad, well, my stint at the Olympics started out with me on the bench for our first match, and when it was done, I went over to chat with my family, and there came my dad. Video camera in one hand, actual camera in the other. I thought I was gonna fall down the stairs. And he looked at me and he simply said, "You were awesome." And when I said, "But Dad, I didn't do anything," I think he actually lowered the camera for a second and said, "For 15 years, I've watched you give everything to this game. Every play your team made today had you in it. So I will say it again, you were awesome." No questions, no excuses, no blame, didn't want to talk to any of the decision makers because that's not what it was about. He saw me as awesome, and that was it. And I continue to feel that way today because of them, volleyball or not. So I'm beyond thankful for who I am because of you. I am thankful for the faith in God that you passed on to me. My self-worth is truly in his love for me, not anything a game could ever give. And you taught me that. And I guess finally, I'd like to say thanks to the sport of volleyball. Not sure why you chose me at 5'6". What an odd choice. But thanks for the opportunities, not only to play myself, but to get to pass it on to so many cool kids. My own boys and beyond. What an amazing place to be. Thank you to the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. I think I've been a part of some pretty cool things, but this might be one of the coolest. Thank you.